The Hollywood sign, which you can barely see over my shoulder here, is one of America's most iconic landmarks. Most people think that the sign was created to hype the film industry in Tinseltown. But the truth is that the sign, created 100 years ago this year, was nothing more than a billboard for a new housing development. Originally hauled up the steep hillside by mules and erected into place in 1923, the nearly 50-foot tall white letters once read Hollywoodland, and they were illuminated by around 4,000 pulsing light bulbs. Like the Eiffel Tower, the sign was never supposed to be permanent, but after a year and a half, rather than be torn down, the advertisement had become so popular with Golden Age Hollywood that it was decided to leave it in place. Tragedy struck in 1932 when Peg Entwistle, a 24-year-old British stage actress who'd moved to Los Angeles to pursue a career in film, hiked up to the sign, climbed the letter H, and leapt to her death. By the late 1940s, the sign was in a pretty dilapidated state. Wind and vandals had taken their toll, and local residents wanted the eyesore torn down. In response, the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce offered to buy and repair it. Land was removed so that the sign now reflected the city and not merely the real estate development. For the next several decades, the Hollywood sign was a bright reflection of American optimism. However, nature continued to ravage it, and in the late 1970s, the all-wood sign was a crumbling eyesore once again. It was rebuilt with metal letters atop a structural steel framework after a fundraising drive spearheaded by Playboy's Hugh Hefner raised the hundreds of thousands of dollars necessary to save it. The sign has frequently been officially altered to advertise everything from sporting events to the opening of new movies, as well as unofficially, as in Hollyweed, celebrating the decriminalization of cannabis. The 22-year-old art student vandal earned an A on his art school assignment. Hollywood, protesting Oliver North in the Iran-Contra hearings, and Caltech, one of the many pranks pulled off by the California Institute of Technology's senior class. The Hollywood sign doesn't get messed with much these days. The LAPD has motion detection cameras set up to trigger alarms should any trespassers get too close, and police helicopters regularly patrol the mountaintop. Understandably, residents of the Hollywood Hills are not fans of the heavy traffic caused by tourists and sightseers wanting to get a better look. There was talk about building an aerial tram up to the sign, but that idea recently fell through. Today, as it was a century ago, the sign stands as a beacon to people moving to Los Angeles, seeking their fame and fortune in the entertainment mecca of the world. Stay curious, my friends.